This is Daf Yomi Yerushalmi Shevi'is. We are in the article Oz V'Hodar edition on Daf Dal and Ralph and the Mishnah Halach Gimel Echad Yom Tzrak, and in the Vilna Daf Beis and Ralph and the same Mishnah Gimel Echad Yom Tzrak, and it goes like this: Echad Yom Tzrak Echad Yom Ach, whether a tree is a non-fruit bearing tree or a fruit bearing tree. Roy Masokil and Dame, look at them as they're fig trees. In other words, they're not bear. They're not, even though it doesn't bear fruit. If that tzrak could produce, based on its size, a kikar vela, which is the corresponding line to 60 Italian monos, you can plow the entire base off for that tree. Suppose if it's not that size, then according to what its needs, which we said is molo ore v'salo. If one of them would make one of the two trees, I mean, this actually we need three trees in base in order to plant the whole base off. One of them made a kikar, does make a kikar vela. Ushnayim enosin, and two do not. Ushnayim osim, and two do make a echad enosin. One does not. English and Meltoka only melo or besalo. Actually, until they're from 3 to 10. I served there 10, or more than 10. It doesn't matter if they produce now. We do the entire base off for them. That's like we have a similar halacha by netilos, by young fruit producing trees. We have the same halacha by growing non-fruit bearing trees. It says the Mishnah further. The Kamraki, by the way, breaks these into all smaller Mishnahs, section by section. But it's not the case in the article or in the Vilna. It says you should desist from working in Chorish and Katzir, in the plowing and harvesting. And talking about Chorish and Shvi'is doesn't go without saying, but that's true about the Chorish and Katzir Shvi'is itself. El Chorish and Shvi'is, El Chorish and Erev Shmita, Shu Nichnas, which prepares the ground with Shvi'is, and a harvest of Matzai Shvi'is, which goes out to Matzai Shvi'is, are both also. Right? Totally different drasha from this good person. Just like Chorish is an optional rishus, there's no mitzvah ever to plow. These things don't need to be plowed, you don't have to plow with them. But so just like Chorish rishus, Avkatzer rishus. So to the harvesting question, which we're saying you're not supposed to harvest after Shemitah, as Tosef Shemitah at the end, is an optional Katzir. That's a Katzir Omer, which comes to conclude Katzir Omer, which it is a mitzvah to harvest in order to do the Karban Omer. And that brings us to the beginning of the Gemara in the article of edition in Daled Amud Beis, in the Vilna edition, on towards the bottom base of Rav. Echad Ilan Tzrak, V'lama Mutain. Okay, so our Mishnah said Ilan Tzrak. Why mention it specifically in that about the why draw the parallel to Eidim, to figs? So Aidesh is saying gasim because they have the figs are thick. Veina so sarbe. They a few figs already are large volumes. So it's a kula that even a few figs can be used in the volume to make it substantially significant to do the harvesting of Shemitah. If saying gasim, okay, so choose an answer. It's super size, right? Ain't no sarbe. They're not too many on a tree. Figs, a lot of figs on a tree. So not so many go, so that would not be a kula. Say sim. Okay, what about olives? Olives that produce a lot of olives in the tree. In Perusing Gasim. But don't make large fruit. So the proper measure, just right, large fruit, even though it's smaller numbers, figs. There are large numbers of figs, and they make big fruit. Every tree, if it does a year, the next year it doesn't produce. Para means deduct a year. So every year it produces, you have to deduct the year it's going to produce for the future. So therefore, we want it to be Mashara with Ta'anim, because Ta'anim can consistently make the same amount of figs every year. But so he says here, the taste of the Kol Shana. It says, Gemara Bibi, Shem Rabbi Chi said, It's got to be that the three trees. For language makes sense. It's kind of like even the third tree only makes a mashu. That's enough to eat to the charisha of the entire field because of the three trees. Even the third tree produces a minimum amount. So therefore, Rabbi Shem said no. That when the Mishnah says "Eino sin" or "Eino set," it means it doesn't make its portion. In other words, it doesn't carry its weight. There are three trees, and two of them are making half a kikor or more, and the third one is less than a third of a kikor. That is not considered a state line. But it does have to be proportional because it's significantly less. But if it's not significantly less, it doesn't have to be a proportion precisely equally among the trees. Right. So he said, "Uvad shelo yivchos micheshbon mishulashim." Again, sounds like they have to be a third each, but that's not. Or Kamnaki says not the way. So you have three trees, two of them make each one even half a kikar or more, and the third one does less than a third of a kikar. Doesn't have a shame state elon. So it sounds like each one has to make a minimum of a third, Not like I said. Let's see what Rebbe says. Shlosha min hates halalu. Oh, he says Bechlal, talking about 9 trees. Okay, so let's go back in that. So when the Mishnah said, right, until 3 to 9. So there, once in 1 to 10, you're fine. That's not a portion equally. So that Rabbi Shem said, "Actually, because Mecheshem Mishulashim, the way the Ribas explains the picture, Shloshim Tes Halalu, 3 of these 9 Sheyotzim and Kvar Dveil Shishimana. They have already had to produce at some point a Dveil of 60 mana. Api Shemishar Lo Yatzakal, even though the other ones did not produce at all. Ziri Rabbi Chanina, who was the next meaning the Gemara says. He says, Perish the Sagi lay being Yotza Cheshon Zemi Kol Tisha, the Din Tish Modin Shloisha. Modbe Shloisha Tzoshitzim and Shloisha, Kach Betisha Tzoshitzim and Tisha, Hacheshbon Hazet. Came Perish Zoliosaf. So when he's on, he says, no. If you have 3, they have to produce a third each. If you have 9, they have to produce 1/9 each. The first opinion, the opinion of Rabbi Chanina, says that you have to have, among the 9 trees, you have to have at least 3 trees producing a third each. And then you don't have to have the rest of the trees produce. The other 6 don't have to produce anything at all. The Rabbi Zina and the Nehemiah says, no, it's not good enough. Each tree has to produce, and each tree has to produce a 9th. So again, according to the first opinion, Rabbi Zina it says, you have to have at least 3 trees producing a third each. It can be apportioned differently, but if you have 3 trees producing a third each, the other 6 don't have to produce. According to Rabbi Zir and Mechanina, no, each of the 9 trees has to produce a 9th of the sum total crop. You have 4 trees between which there are 8 amos each, and the 2 trees in which there are not 8 amos in between. And so that's the maximum, right? Let's see if name will be Baz again. Above Bakar of Caleb, B'Shnaim ain't a Bakar of Caleb. Perish. Newsome Ela Arba, Shnaim ain't a Bakar over Caleb. 2 or 2 close. Yeshim and Akshem Shnaim Echad. The Shar Shlosh, you consider these 2 as 1, and then you're left with 3. Alazamar came which ain't a Bakar over Caleb. No. Since there's not enough room to bucket the pass with its game, you see them as if they're 2, and the Tevas Chamisha Shtarvim Mohadim. Some of the word 5 is superfluous, so we shall see. The time it came to a bucker, since the bucker cannot pass with its tools between the trees, the Shrushim don't go on the side, the Yarim Lamata, they go down. Okay, lo mahani charisha the base solo and also so the charisha of this base does not work for these trees. When the roots are too close together, they go down. They don't go sideways. Um, the charisha mills kecha karka. The plowing works to soften the ground when they're going sideways. So shloshim works for the roots. Kena shloshim something be'erech matas a beisah. So if you have 3 trees planted in the ratio of 10 for a beisah, and they're close enough that the bucker can walk between. Then the extension of even they're that close. As long as the cows walk in between, the roots expand all directions, so you can do call base saw, b'shalom. How do you make sure it's when the shlosh goes sideways? When they're very close. Shena bucker over the cow can't pass by. Shema special shloshim in the then the roots are not going to expand sideways. They're going to have to go down because they're too compacted. Lomahani base saw, and therefore the plant is not going to work for the full base saw. Osan kilu hain shnayim. So you see, instead of 2 trees, not 3 trees, it's not sufficient. So if there are 4 trees, and the bucker passes among 2 and not among the other 2, that's not considered 3. It's considered 2. You can't do the whole base off of that. Okay, let's see inside again. Two of them, in a bucker, the other 2 does not. You see this if it's 2-5, that's what the Gemara is. The Girsa in the Rebaz is again Kilo and Stein, like they're 2, and therefore you are stuck. You can't do the whole base off of that. And according to the Kamraki, says it's 4 amos between the trees, but I thought it was 8 amos between the trees, like the picture we saw before. Anyway, be as it may. Hayu chamisha. What if you had 5? So the Rebbe says, Ushnayim be'emtza, the 2 in the middle, habakar over the cow can pass by when it's fully equipped. Totally, but plukta Rabbi Shimon Rabbanan, so Shimon Rabbanan got big karen. So that pachas me'arbas by a vineyard which is planted with intervals less for amos. Rabbi Shimon Savar, Shimon holds the havi kamo keter masik. It's like a fence interrupting, and therefore it's not going to be a true karen. But I'd say running with same skill line up. We look in the middle as if they're not there. And we do harvest on the base off for the rest of the trees. Mashenke barba v'shnayim and habakar b'tel as opposed to 4, where only 2 the bucker can pass with its kalim. No. We don't see the name as kilu. No. We don't see 1 as if it's not there. As adroe o son kilu and shnayim. Ain't anu the name as kilu. Ain't el adroe o son kilu and shnayim. So it seems as if there are 2. So what do we see as there 2? That and not 3. As if there are 2 and not 3, and therefore you can't plant the whole base off of them. Okay. Okay. Next. I'm not sure I said that correctly. Let me go through it again. He says, so that is a machlekes. So Rabbanan hold that we look at the middle ones as if they are not there, and then whether it is a keren. Anyway, you still have shiny things, shiny back, you don't see zonav, for the need for keren. But here, Rabbi Shimon is the one who says, no, then it's too close together, it doesn't help. You don't look at them as if they're einon. So here, that's the case. The machlekes of Shimon Rabbanan, I see the 2 in the middle as if they're still there and no good. That's from Shimon. Or I see it as if they're 1, and then when it is good, and you can still do a proper portion of plowing. That's what Rabbanan hold. And that brings us to really the top of Hamanam. So we will stop here for today.